Good evening, good morning, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel where your opinion actually matters. YouTube has a problem, and so does a lot of other places, and that is freedom of speech. It seems to be stifled in a lot of different places, and there's nothing wrong with hearing someone else's opinion, even if you believe it's a dumb opinion. It gives you an opportunity to try to convince them of your side. But all too often it seems to devolve into violence or personal attacks or screaming, especially with the advent of anonymity on the internet. You give individuals anonymity and all of a sudden they will act quite contrary than they would in real life. But one thing that we have to remember, and when I say we, I mean me, you, everybody speaking. Your opinion matters, and if you believe your opinion is correct, then there's no reason why you shouldn't come out and say it. And there's no reason why somebody shouldn't hear your opinion and take a second to understand your side and then weigh what they have in their head, their evidences, and take your opinion and say, okay, all right, I can see where you're coming from. And the ability to do that is going to open your eyes to all new possibilities. It is going to open your mind and expand your thought process to be able to include things that you perhaps never thought it would. And it would condition your brain to say, hey, wait a second. I hear what this person is saying, and I see what this situation says, but what is more? What is the real part of it? And that all comes to freedom of speech, being able to say your piece and be heard. Because you want someone else to hear you, right? And then being able to hear someone else as well without jumping to these personal attacks. Anonymity be damned, I understand. Anonymity gives you this power to be an asshole. And I don't care about this video. It's going to be demonetized. What brought up my thoughts of freedom of speech is the last video, and every video I upload is almost instantaneously demonetized, which for a small, insignificant, tiny little channel like mine that is screaming up to power saying, hey, things don't make sense and we're using our voice to voice our opinion. Well, we're so small right now that we're insignificant. But those first couple hours that it's demonetized kill a channel like this. But I'll keep uploading. And this video will probably be demonetized because I used the word freedom of speech. It's amazing that we live in a society where someone tries to get their opinion across and they're trying to voice it, and perhaps they're even crying out for a little bit of help, saying, hey, these are my beliefs and this and that. And maybe they're looking for someone to say, hey, you know what, here's what I believe. But in order to get to that point where we can connect across party lines, you've got to be able to listen. And you have got to be able to be okay with using your voice, because your voice is beautiful. People died for your voice to be heard. Isn't that amazing? People that you don't even know gave the ultimate sacrifice for you to be heard, for your voice to matter for something. So why do we stifle other people's voices? Why, when someone is trying to make their point of view, and they make it in a rational manner, they're not personally attacking anything. They're saying, look, here's the evidence that I have. Here's how I read the evidence. Do we jump on them and say, get him? He's of the other opinion. His voice doesn't matter. Her voice doesn't matter. No, you're disgracing all those people who died. And a lot of people died to bring you to this point right here, to hear this and hear me say that your voice is beautiful, your voice matters, your voice means something. Your opinion means something. When we get together as a society and we have people who have bad opinions and we have people who have good opinions, and they get together and the bad opinions say, hey, here's what we think. The good opinions say, here's what we think. And then the bad opinions are like, well, you know what? Maybe our opinions are wrong. and they switch. And all of a sudden you have more people with proper opinions, which then propagates more people with proper opinions. It's like a disease of goodness. But the bad is also like a disease. So it's like a fight of how are we going to infect the United States? Are we going to infect it with the good infection of, all right, let me hear what you got to say. That's a bad idea, here's why. And then they say, okay, I hear what you're saying, and they rebuttal it. Anymore, we just are like a bunch of kids on the playground sometimes. Let me know what you guys think. I had to get that one out there because I'm baffled at how limited on speech we are online. I don't even know what words really precisely I used in my last video to get it demonetized, other than maybe Nancy Pelosi's last name, Pelosi, or freedom of speech, or Americans. You got me. I don't know. Maybe someone out there knows, someone who's smarter than me, but you guys are beautiful, man. Your voices mean something. And if somebody isn't going to listen to you, if somebody isn't going to take the time to see your side of the story and stop for a second and say, what is this person going through? And understand where this person is coming from and say, okay, I got you. All right. I'm not going to tear you down. I'm not going to tell you you're stupid. I'm not going to tell you go cry, or white male tears, or liberal tears, or conservative tears. I'm not going to tell you anything that degrades you. I'm going to tell you, I hear what you are saying, and I would like to understand where your opinions come from. And from my standpoint, here is my opinion, backed by my facts, backed by my personal experience, perhaps. And this is why I think my position is correct. And then you have a rebuttal, and then you have a beautiful conversation. And if you run into somebody who loves really old school academics, and not even modern academic debate now, I've seen the modern academic debate, and it's kind of scary. Very scary. Old school academic debate, or old school philosophical style debates, where you have your premises and your conclusion comes necessarily from your premises, and you get to someone that knows how to set those little debate traps to set you up into one point of view, and to take that point of view to its absurdity, so that way that your whole entire conclusion collapses under a pile of absurdity that is your own logic used against you. It becomes like a chess game, like a video game, like a football game. I don't know how to describe it, but it's exhilarating to get into those really good ones where someone is giving their point of view and they're listening to your point of view, and then you're listening to their point of view, and you guys are coming up with something, and you're willing to bend and change some of your views if they come up with evidences that sound good and are backed up by things that make sense. Or they're willing to change their point of view. And between the two of you, somewhere in the middle, you're going to come up with a wonderful point of view. It's like that old saying. I don't know how exactly it goes, but what is it? A tree that isn't bendable will break in the strongest winds. Bend a little. Anyways, I've ranted long enough. Freedom of speech. Your voice is beautiful. Your voice is gorgeous. Don't stifle it. If something is bothering you, speak up. Stand up for yourself. Have your own boundaries, and if somebody makes fun of you when you speak up, they might not be worth your time. Don't let anybody tell you that your voice is useless, and don't let anybody take your voice. Freedom of speech is powerful. Just ask all the people who died. They'll tell you that it is. They'll tell you they sacrificed everything for you right here, right now. Don't squander it. I love you guys. You guys are beautiful. You guys are wonderful and awesome people. I thank you for listening to this rant. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.